Almost 6 years ago now, the New York Rangers lucked into the second overall pick of the 2019 NHL Draft. Jack Hughes was the consensus number 1 overall at the time, but not far behind him, Kaapo Kakko was the consensus number 2, and Kakko was giving people a real reason to discuss the picks, coming off a 22-goal campaign in the Finnish League in his draft year, which actually broke Alexander Barkov's record for most goals by a U18 player in the Finnish League. The players were so close at the time, some pundits were saying they'd actually rather have Kaapo Kakko than Jack Hughes.
So I think a lot of people are excited about Jack Hughes. I'm just more excited about Kakko.
Now, as most of you know, since then, Jack Hughes has gone on to establish himself as one of the best players in the NHL after a slow first couple seasons. In comparison, Kaapo Kakko has yet to establish himself as anything other than a bottom 6 forward, but in fairness to him, the New York Rangers have never given him more than third-line minutes in his 6 seasons with the organization. So while the Devils were being patient with Jack Hughes and letting him develop his game, the Rangers were becoming increasingly impatient with Kakko, giving him less ice time while also trying to mold him into a role player, something he never was. Now this is what happens when a good team lucks into a lottery pick, which actually happened twice to the Rangers, first drafting Kakko second overall in 2019, and then drafting Lafreniere first overall in 2020. Similar to Kakko, Lafreniere had a slow first few seasons in the league while playing for the Rangers, and in no one's surprise, Lafreniere had a bit of a breakout season last year after the Rangers finally started giving him consistent top 6 minutes, something Kakko was never awarded. And the contracts they signed last summer showed exactly what the Rangers thought of each player. Lafreniere got paid with a long-term 7x7 contract, while Kakko got a 1-year, $2.4 million prove-it deal. So as their salaries show, Chris Drury and the Rangers felt that Lafreniere was triple the player Kakko is. Fast forward to this season, the Rangers were off to a hot start, but they burnt out quick and watched themselves slowly falling down the standings. This of course led them to trading away their captain in Jacob Trouba, and when things went from bad to worse in the following weeks, they decided to finally set Kakko free, trade him to the Seattle Kraken for pennies on the dollar. No offense to Will Borgen, but bottom pairing stay-at-home defensemen are easy to find in the NHL. Just don't overpay them. Now with the Seattle Kraken, Kakko had a real chance to prove himself as a top 6 forward in this league and show everyone why he was taken second overall back in 2019, and so far he has not disappointed. Kakko started on the Kraken's second line and played so well for the first time in his career, he's finally playing first line minutes. And it's definitely well deserved, as since joining the Kraken, Kakko's averaging about a point per game and has actually already totaled his previous points this season with the Rangers in half as many games. It's also interesting to me that his former linemate in Will Cooley, who was having a breakout season to start the year, has completely slowed down since Kakko was traded away, and the other member of their line in Philip Hiddle wasn't doing much before or now, so I think this shows it was most likely Kakko propping that lineup. And I think the craziest stat since Kakko was traded to the Kraken is that he actually has more points than Lafreniere now, and his linemates are Matty Beniers and Jane Swartz, while Lafreniere is playing with Trocheck and Artemi Panarin. Pretty good player, you probably heard of him. So in conclusion, guys, I think the Rangers were definitely limiting Kakko's ability to reach his full potential, but now with the Seattle Kraken, the sky's the limit for the former bust.
Scores!